thanks to all our active patrons who have contributed a lifetime of $100 or more to reach Garuk Dong level status.
Here is the list of those special patrons in order of contributions.
If you would like to support our show, check out the Commander Smiths at patreon.com. Welcome to the Commander Smiths.
We are the Commander Smiths.
I'm Adam Smith.
And I'm Lowry Smith.
Don't worry.
Cousins.
This is episode 257. And what do we, we're just going to get right into it. What are we doing today, Lowry? What do we got going on? Stuff and things.
Kind of a lot of stuff and things. We are going to talk about the tournament, keyword tournament. Final four has just been decided, and we will talk about the finals.
Yep.
I don't know what those are. Clearly,
it'll be a surprise.
And, instead of Stump the Smith Savant, since I lost last weekend, we are going to do Fill in the Bleep again.
Oh, it's gonna be fun.
And apparently, Adam has another.
I have a button for you. Woo! I got 3 buttons today. 3 new buttons.
And then we'll talk. And then we are going to. We also have the return of Staple Verses, since we have time again, and that's going to be the Elesh Norns facing off against each other.
Yeah, well, we have to do the results of Urabrask. We never did that. That was our last time.
Oh, that's true.
When Mom and Dad were fighting.
I'm sure we've cooled off since then.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm pretty heated.
I don't have a strong opinion. It's fine. Is Malord a poison counter? Yeah, basically. And then we're talking about poison. There is toxic, there is poison, and it kind of messes with Commander. Should it change? What are our thoughts? Stuff like that.
Yeah, because
that's the big part.
We had the poison discussion like in year 1 of the Commander Smiths, didn't we? I think we had a discussion about it.
A while. And
even that, like, then it was like, because I think you were on board of, I'm fine with if they raised it. And I was like, no, keep it the same. But now there's more fuel to that infect and poison stuff. So you might have more. Ooh, did you have a little pee chill there? A little pee-gasm?
A little chill. A little chilly. It's cold down here.
You need to drink up. What are you drinking, speaking of?
Oh, that's a good point. This is, today is sponsored by Mr. Hockey.
Oh,
Case of the Mondays. It's a DDH TIPA. I don't even know what the T stands for, but it's a double dry hop.
You know what the
IPA
T stands for.
Tippa.
Just the
but it's delicious. And it's from an amalgamation of Minnesota beers: Modist, Forager, Fair State, Black Stack. It's very good.
And there it goes. Okay, I was gonna say you didn't see the chat, but look at Ted is like, nice trim, Lau. That's what I said to you. I was like, hey, did you trim your beard? You look all sexy. It's all pretty.
Yeah, now you can see my neck again. Like my wife was happy. She smiled at me for the first time in months. That was
because she could actually see your mouth.
Kidding. Yeah.
I'm drinking whiskey tonight. I decided to. Yeah. I know.
No, not that. Sorry.
Good for you.
Force a habit.
I'm drinking. It's Dough Ball cookie dough whiskey.
Cookie dough whiskey.
Yeah.
Is it like sweet?
It's almost too sweet for me. I like a little burn when I'm drinking it because it's just on the rocks. Mm-hmm. And it's almost too sweet. I had some this weekend, and with some like Diet Coke, it tastes better with that, which is surprising. Like, because normally I like the whiskey by itself, but this is almost
because you're a cultured man.
It cut the sweetness when you added Diet Coke, which is really weird. But
that's worrisome.
Yeah, it's weird.
That's diabetes right there.
Diabetes. If it gets too sweet for me, I have some reserve beer in my little mini fridge. Oh, good for you down below. So we'll see when we get there. So yeah, we got quite the episode today. It's gonna be interesting getting Staple Verses back here. We had a lot go on this last week and this week because we had battle boxes go last week.
We did.
You whooped my ass.
I did in battle boxes. Yes. I pulled 9 tutors out of the 12 packs.
Fucking 9, and that doesn't even include like the pseudo tutors, right? Because you had
I pulled 1 and 2, which I consider a tutor, but it's not generically known as a tutor. But it was an awesome box, and I think I figured out value wise I got about 380.
Yeah, so you got about $100 over what we paid for it, and I got this tells you what mine was like. I got $100 below what we paid for it, so there was a $200 swing of how much better Lowry's box is.
Yeah, it was brutal.
Mine. Yeah, and then brutal. But I will say besides the 9 tutors of the night, the Birds of Paradise pack was like the ultimate pack. Like that was
really cool.
It was 3 Birds of Paradise. Spoiler alert. I pulled the first one just retro non-foil. And then when did you get I think that's when you pulled one of your tutors that was 35, wasn't it? At that point, it was one of the $35 tutors.
Right. And you beat me on that pack.
But I didn't think I beat you. Remember, I was like,
yeah,
Birds of Paradise. I'm like, okay, next, the second to last card, full art Birds of Paradise. I'm like, fuck. Okay, that's crazy. And then the last one was retro foil Birds of Paradise. I was like, God damn it, why did I pull this? And then I looked it up and like, oh shit, it's $35. Just it's crazy. That pack, and that was the last pack I won. And then you went on a
big tear.
8
it was
winning
awesome.
streak or something like that.
That was awesome.
Stupid.
Yeah,
it was dumb. So we also had to take, that was also the part that sucked, is that was 4 Malorts that night. So that was
it was a 4 Malort night for Adam.
Yeah. Immediately when we were done doing that, I was like switched over to water, and like I went and made like a cheesy burrito just so I could get some of it absorbed, because it was so, it was an hour we drank.
It was an hour. You had 4 shots and a beer.
It was like, ugh. And then last night we got a Commander game in, and that was a pretty quick one.
That was cool. Yeah.
Hour.
I barely was there. It was real quick.
Immediately.
Renee did nothing.
After we ended the stream, Lowry's taking the cards out of the sleeves. This deck.
That's the second or third time. That's the thing I do. I was just planning on getting rid of it. It did what I expected to do, which was nothing. And you did Blanca.
Yeah, Blanca did Blanca things. I could have wiped you, but I didn't want to do that, and so
I wasn't doing anything anyway.
Yeah, I was going for Doji there, and he had dragons,
which was the right play.
Yeah, dragons were kind of going crazy, and
yeah, Miram's good. Miram's real good.
I won't spoil the ending, but I was able to Blanca get silk. What is it? Silk whatever.
Silk nut.
Whatever, silk something. Yeah, that might be it. Bouncing it back to my hand and recasting it, did 10 points of damage to each of them. But dragons might have taken the cake on that one.
Yeah. Well, Carter with Seth, just kind of controlled the game. Yeah. It was just like, you have to attack. And I was like, oh, fuck.
I have to attack.
You don't want to attack me, but might as well get rid of this guy.
So that was fun. So we had quite a Commander-esque week. Do we have anything going? We can talk about that in a little bit here. Is there anything else you did this weekend? Anything fun? No.
No, I know if Elise ever listens to the show, it's gonna be embarrassing. So I'm sorry, baby girl. She had one of the largest shits I've ever seen. The thing was bigger than her leg. Like, it was just thick.
Where did you tuck that?
I don't know how it came out of her body, and like I went to flush and it clogged the toilet only a quarter of the way in. Like, I had to break it up. And gross. It was
how'd you break it up? Like with
it was
a knife,
still mostly
or you just
out.
like
I was so surprised it clogged the toilet. Right. Well, with the plunger, and that and it still got like stuck and fully flushed, or like fully backed up, and then this is more plunging, and then it went through after.
Oh man!
So, but it was.
Did you applaud her afterwards?
It was crazy. What?
I said, did you applaud her afterwards? I don't have my applause button ready.
Gave her a big hug. I was proud of her. It was probably one of my proudest moments for my kids right there. I wish I had a poop like that at some point.
You didn't take a picture of it and put it on ratemypoo.com?
Is that still a thing?
I don't know. It probably is. I mean, if you wrote that this is my 3-year-old, is she 3 right now?
She's doing. She'll be 3 soon.
Yeah, in
April.
Months. Yeah. My 3-year-old daughter's poop, and then that thing would be the top of the.
Right. It was impressive. I am highly impressed. That's all I had to say, though.
Nice. I don't have any poop stories or anything.
That's okay. So. I don't feel like we should both have poop stories in one episode.
I just went swimming this weekend, so that's all I did.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you didn't poop.
And
there.
Your daughter's water from I don't know. I was trying to relate it to poop, and it's not working out.
It's okay.
Okay. Well, let's get to the episode. I mean, we got quite a few things to do. We don't know how long the poison chat is going to be, so.
We don't.
And we got the other game, the second time of doing that game. So, I better get to my welcome to the Meat Forest stuff here. Okay. You guys can become a patron like our new patron this week, Jeffrey Myers.
Welcome to a meat forest.
That sounds like a fairy tale of a meat forest.
And just like Jeffrey, if you donate $1 or more, that gets you into the Discord, gets you playing games, gets you chatting with everybody. $5 or more gets you proxies each month if you so choose. The higher you move on the tiers, the foil ones you can get of that. Just a little let's see if I can pull this over here quick. Just a little thing that's gonna be popping up this week is, let's see. So this is my foil sheet.
Oh,
so
I'll send that link over later.
What link? Yeah,
to
Rate My Poo?
No.
Oh. I didn't know what we were talking about.
I don't think I caught the new patron. So I need to send a link to the Discord.
Okay. Yeah. So you got to send that to him. All right. So Jeffrey, that's just a personal shot for you there, buddy. But yeah, so I got the 7 dwarves that are going to be appearing. And the cool thing is it's a panorama. So it's all 7 of them connect together. So it's going to be pretty sweet. Yeah, so that is, now you're distracting me. I just want to sing hi ho. So that is the financial way to support the show. You can also financially support the show by donating on the live stuff. So right here, you can make us drink Malort, which is down here. We had the Malort on. Josh jumped in on the battle boxes and made us drink there, but you can also do it here. So those are the 2 spots you can make us drink. You can also do jelly beans and all that stuff. So if you don't want, I would highly suggest, if you want to chat with us and everything, just do $1 subscription on the Patreon.
Right.
And then you can donate on the live stuff to make us do tricks and all that. But anytime we are live, you can have us do the jelly beans, the hot beans, and all that stuff. So that's the financial way to support the show. You can also support the show by, the free way to support the show is to jump on YouTube and subscribe. Right now, I'm going to promote it again. I know people are sick of it. But we have the $1,000 giveaway of, not $1,000 worth of stuff giveaway. And that's for hitting 1,000 subscribers, which right now we're 90 people away. So we're getting closer. We're edging closer. We are beyond that first month of giving every single prize away. So we still need things to get unlocked. We're 8 comments away from unlocking the autograph cards, which was, I think there's 4 or 5 of those that were on there. Also misprinted cards, damaged cards, which the damaged cards are really expensive and some of them aren't really even damaged. Remember, I think that's what part of that bit was. And then the Street Fighter Secret Lair. So those are the 4 that still need to be unlocked. So if you haven't commented on that video yet, it is below in this video, either if you're listening on the audio or watching on YouTube. Okay, so that's it for the giveaway. But on YouTube, when you subscribe, there's tons of things we do. We have curated MTG, which is twice a week. And Lowry, what was your curated MTG or what's going to be tomorrow? Do you know tomorrow? Or do you just want to go back to Sunday?
It's going to be Petrified Field, which is a land, and you get to sacrifice it, and then you can bring a land from your graveyard back to your hand. And so there are plenty of commanders that deal with lands going. Yeah.
Colorless. Okay.
Colorless land.
So it's really good,
pretty cool, and it fits in a lot of decks.
Yeah.
Landfall and Gitrog monster, and there's a list of them that I go through there real quick. So
Sweet.
check it out.
So you can check that out on YouTube or on TikTok. Any of our shorter stuff is on TikTok as well. So you can check those out. Biggest thing with those is any of the short stuff, just watch it all the way through, give it a like, and that helps it spread for us. We also, like I talked about, we had the Discord games, which was live. We have the battle boxes, which is live. Basically, almost everything we do that we do on YouTube is live. We have the spotlight decks. We have we have What Card Gets You Hard. So that last week was Soul Ring. And this introduces one of the new buttons. Where is it? I gotta find it. Give me a second. Hold on. Hold on. There's too many buttons. All right, here we go. Here goes the first button. Polling time. Time to count the votes from every boy and girl. Polling time. Every single poll must come to an abrupt end. Yeah. Does that bring you back to the early Commander Smith days?
Right.
When I was doing that, I was just like, God, remember we used to do every episode of us
opening with a altered song.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're the one that complained the most about
I hated it because I
would
spend so much time trying to figure out the words that I wanted.
And now it seems like you miss it.
Well, that I got to use music in the background, so I kind of dug that part. The only reason I made that button is not because of, it is because of What Card Gets You Hard, where you have 3 different things or 2. Just in the last 3, it's always been 3. 3 different versions of the same card you get to vote on. But we also had the voting for I did the last week when we did the game enders. I threw that up as a poll on YouTube. So all these polls pop up on YouTube. Twitter gets like 5 votes, so really it counts, but it doesn't. So I feel like this is kind of a little new segment for the polls of the week. So when we're going through the tags, we can kind of talk about the polls. And I feel like, should we just do the tournament in this spot really quick? Just the results, since they're going to be really quick, since we're doing polling, or do you want that?
Yes, we could do that.
Yeah, because it's going to be a really quick thing. So let me quickly. Last week was Soul Ring. We had 3 different versions: the OG version, the interventions version. Interventions. What's going on? That's what we need because of all this damn Malort. Yes. And then the Secret Lair version. What do you think finished first, second, and third? How would you?
I think the inventions versions are really, really cool, but the nostalgia of the OG, I personally would go OG.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go with that. Like alpha beta, not revised or unlimited, but alpha beta version of that would be.
So you would go OG Inventions Secret Lair?
Yeah.
Okay. So I would do OG Secret Lair Inventions. I thought for sure the Inventions wouldn't be in the mix. Turns out it was the highest rated. It was 46% of the vote was the Inventions. And there's quite a few people that voted on this. Again, we're getting lots of voting throughout everything. All the videos, I counted any comments and all that stuff. The OG version came in second with 41%, so that's pretty close. And then the Secret Lair was at 13%. So
that's low.
Yeah, that's a lot lower than I was thinking it was going to be. Like I mentioned last week, we did the game enders with the Sniper, Annihilator, and Infiltrator. Where do you think those ended up in voting? We got quite a few votes on that as well.
I honestly have no idea where people would land. So probably.
Go ahead.
Snipers. No. Probably snipers. I'll say
Sniper.
That's a wishy-washy one.
The last place was the Sniper, 23% of the vote, and first place was actually Annihilator with 46% of the vote. And Infiltrator was second at 31%. So it was those are pretty close. I can see Annihilator. People like to kill everybody at once. I like that.
Yeah. Well, I think combo's pretty prevalent, and that's why.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that's why we're not popular at all. It was like, you guys don't play combo. Why would we want to listen to you? Yeah. That's my guess.
Okay. And last but not least, let's jump over to, let's see where we go. Go over here. The keyword ability tournament. So we had our final matchup, our final 4 matchup, and first match was number 5 Death Touch versus number 6 Indestructible. Where do you think that ended up?
I think Indestructible takes that.
You are correct with 72% of the votes. Indestructible took out.
I think Death Touch just got there on matchups. I don't think it's really that. I wouldn't sit down and say like Death Touch is a top 4 mechanic. I don't think that's something that anybody would believe.
And you
Indestructible,
you have your cult followers on the side there. Cole doing Team Forest Walk, and
hashtag Team Forest Walk should be here. Did that actually overtake any votes?
You have number 2 that cheated and then deleted votes and then goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry," but everybody vote Forest Walk. Yeah, that is bullshit. So I didn't even count that, little bastard. And then our second matchup was number 2 Hexproof against number 4 Double Strike. Where do you think that one ended up?
I would also say that Hexproof, that it hasn't changed in my mind that Hexproof beats Double Strike on this one. I think it's closer, but I still think Hexproof takes this one.
You're wrong in one thing and right in the other, and it actually won 73% of the votes went to Hexproof.
Still a big wide. Okay.
Yeah, so
big wide gap.
Yep. So our final matchup is number 2 Hexproof against number 6 Indestructible. So you guys, the voting will start on Tuesday. You can vote on YouTube, you can vote on Twitter, and you can vote on the Discord. And next week we'll announce the winner of the Keyword Ability Tournament. We are going to continue tournaments. It's going to be more of a regular bit for us. So if you guys have suggestions of things you would like to see, normally we want 32. Like 32s are minimum if we're going to do this. We don't really want to hit the 64 anymore. I think 32 is our sweet spot. So if you guys have suggestions of things that would be a good 32, shoot us either a message. Everybody's saying rigged.
Yeah, Team Force Walk.
It's rigged because number 2 is deleting comments and doesn't even listen to the damn podcast, little bastard.
Right. That's kind of true.
Okay, so that was the closing time, the polling time. I won't do it again. It's a 25-second long bit, but all right.
I love it.
Last thing is this week's What Card Gets You Hard is going to be the Battle of Force of Will. So even though I don't play with the counterspell stuff, Force of Will, there's some pretty cool arts with that. So we're going to have that one going. All right. So that is the YouTube stuff. Biggest thing there is just subscribe. If you guys are listening, you haven't subscribed yet, please do. That just helps us get to that 1,000. And we can start giving away tons and tons of prizes here. So then check us out on Twitter, Discord Ultralight, but we do post everything we do there. So if you don't want to subscribe to, just subscribe to YouTube. But subscribe, go to Twitter, whatever, it's fine. But you can direct message us there, or you can direct message us by shooting us an email at commandersmiths@gmail.com. I'm just making sure I didn't miss anything from my top notes.
Oh, I'll also plug Thursday. Whoa, there's Thursday I plan on building, unless we were going to play games, but
no, I have volleyball now.
And you got yeah. All right, so I'm going to be building Magus Lucia Kane, which is 1 green, blue, red. It's a 1/1. It's from the world or the Warhammer decks. And so at the beginning of combat on your turn, put a 1/1 counter on target creature, and then you can tap it for 2 colorless mana. When you next cast the spell with X in its mana cost, or activate the ability of X in its activation cost this turn, copy that spell or ability. You may choose new targets for the copy.
Nice.
Seems cool. I got a stack of cards, and I'm going to sit down and build that on Thursday.
Sweet. And we've seen that in play from Jake, wasn't it? Jacuzzi has
that one? Jacuzzi played this, and I was like, oh, I liked what he was doing.
Yeah.
And so
basically you're just stealing what he did, and then you're just saying that you did.
Yes. Every deck I've ever built, nobody's ever built
I have a
deck.
podcast and you don't is what you're doing, right?
Is that what happens? Is that what happens?
I was trying to do
Everybody
the Billy
has
Madison.
a podcast.
I was trying to do the Billy Madison.
King of the Castle.
I have a microphone and you don't.
So
you will listen to what I have to say.
Is that what
I should play that, but you should take that button.
Do that more? Where's that from?
Billy Madison. It's when he's doing the spelling bee thing or whatever. The big spelling bee competition.
We were like 10 when that came out. That's I don't.
Yeah, Doji, two times a nickel.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get to our game. Let me see.
Minnesota motherfucker.
Hang on a second. Let me. I gotta find where your game name is. All right. Here is Lowry. This is the introduction to your game. It's time for everyone's second favorite game show.
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the f*** is that?
That's your little introduction.
Is that what the name of this is now called?
What the fuck is that? You want to hear it again? Ready? I like this one. This one was fun. It's time for everyone's second favorite game show.
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the f*** is that?
Did you beep that too? You beeped that. Nobody beeps that, dude.
Yeah.
All right.
I thought we swore enough that and it's called bleep.
Fill in the bleep.
Yeah, so I felt like I had to put the bleep in there. What the fuck is that?
So how this game goes is I found a bunch of 10 card names and I shortened bits of it, and Adam has to guess what the actual card name is. Some of them, you know, they mostly just come up like with short words or whatever. The original example was like Teferi's Pro, and that is Teferi's Protection. And so that would be what Adam guesses. There are no points there. Well, I guess there are points. Last time you played, you got 6.5 right, and you got 3.5 wrong. 6.5. Yeah, you got there. I gave you half and gave you half wrong.
Give me a half. Right.
Yeah. So this week there are 10 other ones, different. And are you ready?
I am ready. Let's do this.
All right. First one we're going to talk about. I don't want to skip around too much. I'll lose my place. All right, this one's going to be the easy one. There's going to be the softball one. Swiftfoot Boo.
Swiftfoot Boots.
All right. Right.
Huzzah! Ding. I need to get a ding. Wait.
Do I need...
Wait, no, I'll get the hello boobies.
All right.
Hello, boobies.
I got that. I can do that.
You did.
Yeah.
But you don't have wrong, so I'll hit wrong.
I don't. I don't.
All right.
It doesn't matter if it's wrong. All right. Second one. This one is called Tainted P.
Tainted Pathway.
No.
Tainted
P. Tainted P. Sounds so gross.
Tainted.
You're right that it is a land. And if there's a swamp in play, it can produce a red or black.
Red or black. Shit.
And if there is not a swamp in play for you under your control, then it just only produces a colorless.
Colorless, yeah, I know which ones they're talking about because you had the cycle of the blue one, the blue and black one. All of them had the black whatever, but it was only 5 of them. Ah, damn it! I saw it on the side. Well, no, he said
you
tainted.
Motherfuckers.
I tried to hide it. Well, no, is it Tainted Pact? That's not. That doesn't sound right. No, that doesn't sound right at all. Tainted. Nope. I'm putting my hand up so I can't see. So all the comments go. Get out of here. Tainted. I have this card. I just can't.
You do. It creates a mountain. What is a different word for mountain?
That starts with a P?
P.
Pillside.
P-E-A. Tainted P.
Oh, Tainted Peaks. Yeah, I wouldn't have
Tainted
got there.
Peak. There you go.
I wouldn't have got there.
All right, next one. Sometimes, Adam, you can be a Sylvan Lib, in my mind, but
Sylvan Library.
Maybe that's being offensive. Yeah, that's Sylvan Library.
Hello, boobies.
You're right. Okay. All right.
I'll do the
next
buttons
one was
for
one
you.
that I got. I got wrong last week, but we're gonna do it this week. Aggravated ass.
Aggravated assault.
Yes.
Hello,
correct.
boobies.
All right. This next one. Deep wood. Deep wood.
Is it just the 2 words?
Yeah, that's just the card name. I found it really funny.
Okay.
So
deep.
It's the name.
Oh.
Deep wood. Why would you put that on a card?
Why did you just do like deep wood?
Because I wanted to say deep wood on recording. Like that's all right. Next one, Ash Bar.
Ash Barons? No.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hello, boobies.
Oh, we got stereo.
All right, next one. Blood Cry.
Blood Crypt?
It is Blood Crypt.
Hello, boobies.
Good. All right, you're flying. We got 2 more left. Savor the Mom.
Savor the moment.
It is Savor the
Hello,
Moment.
boobies.
Killing it. Last one. Cover your kids' ears if you're. Oh no, there's 2 more. There's 2 more.
Okay.
Sorry. We'll save the real bad one for last. All right. Second to last one. Sun Tit.
Sun Titan. Ooh, a sun tit.
Sun Tit.
Hello, boobies.
I like
All
those
right,
sun tits.
last one. Again, cover your kids' ears.
They
If your
should be
boss is
listening to this
around, pause
podcast
it, do it.
anyways.
All right. Yeah, that's true. All right. Deep Anal.
No, I can't think of
Deep Anal.
analingus.
Nope, that's not on the card at all. I know that for sure.
That one's throwing me off because all I'm just thinking
Wait,
is
is
the butthole.
analingus where you're eating a mast out? Is that what that is? Is that an actual
Do you remember we
term?
did that for Scribbleish and it was with Ryan Shea and your buddy?
I wasn't
Ryan?
there yet.
You know, it was at Lutzen. Oh, you weren't there
Yeah,
yet?
it was. I was still driving up.
So he wrote analingus and I got it and I was just like, I wrote anal in Gus. And so like I said, hi, my name's Gus and I'm in your okay. All right. So
Deep Anal.
deep
This
analysis.
is a yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Huzzah!
It is.
boobies.
Wow. Wow.
Anal,
Congrats.
dude,
I'd give you a 9.5 on that one.
Woo! I can only do better by getting a tan. The tan. That's
There you
fun.
go. Nice job.
All right, so
Nice
let's see
job.
if I get that
I'm-
one again. The name
I
of
thought
it.
Savor the Mom would give me a little bit more time.
Savor the Mom. It's time for everyone's second favorite game show.
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the f*** is that?
Good job, Larry. I like that.
All right.
I like that as our whoops! I did our opener. There goes our opener. I clicked on the wrong button. It's like I've been drinking, but I haven't really been drinking. I mean, I have a little bit, but there's no
You are.
Malort mixed in. We don't have Josh here.
That's okay. We miss you already. But
Okay, so
I'm on to my second one. It's Dino S'mores. This one's also from Alex. It's from Off Color Brewing Imperial Marshmallow Stout. The last one was 9.5. This one's 10.5% alcohol. Let's see how this goes. But it's probably gonna be sweet and good.
Okay, so this is the one thing I changed for our we don't have a button for our segments. So it's pretty much the same thing, but there's a little bit of an added thing in there. So see if you can catch it.
I don't want relationship. I just want bang bang bang. I don't want to.
The segment name.
I just want bang bang bang.
It's really quick.
I didn't catch that.
I don't want
What was
relationship.
it?
I just want bang bang bang. I don't want to.
The segment name.
I just want bang bang bang.
Classic.
I don't know the segment name. Stupid. I had fun this week. I'm just glad that these are going to be
I
buttons that
appreciate
we use, because yours is we're going to use that one again. We'll use the Poland one, but I gotta maybe shorten that sucker up a little bit. But we'll see. Okay, so what do we got going on? We are talking about poison. cards. Oh damn, that would have been a good one. Poison.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
That like late 80s
yeah,
song.
I failed. I should have
Yeah.
done that one.
I
Damn
don't
it.
know how to sing it, but it's like in my head slightly.
That girl is poison.
Yes.
Poison. Poison.
Poison. Poison berries.
Should we start up the singing at the beginning of the cast again? No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. That was
No.
such a relief when we stopped doing that.
Right. I remember there was one that was super specific from AJ, and he was like, do the Jim Carrey version
I remember.
of this song from I didn't even know the movie. I spent goddamn hour and a half trying to get like
that was my
Jim
problem.
Carrey cadence of a song that I know. It's like hey friend, step back from that ledge, my friend. But like Jim Carrey does it in his own way.
Yeah.
And you're just like, it's okay.
And those were when we used to do that in person. So that was we'd be sitting there, one of us, holding, we're like, okay, ready? Here it goes. And then just getting the natural reaction. It'd be interesting to see that live and reactions now. I
felt so bad for number 2 because after year 2, he came out, he did a master list of everything we've ever done, and we quit right
because he was trying to make it so people wouldn't give like multiple suggestions, and so he did it, and they're like, we are done.
Jumper. And yes, man, you guys know your shit. It's just, but I just felt so bad, and that's probably why he quit listening.
Yeah. I put like, all this goddamn work into it, and then you guys just trashed the fucking bit.
All
right. So
we're reminiscing because we're gonna come up on our 5-year at number
in
260.
260. We will have our 5-year. Whew.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Crazy. That's crazy. Should I pull up any poison stuff? I don't think I need to, or should we have card preview in the middle? Do you think, or are we just chatting?
I mean, it might not be a bad idea to have the new version at least. Okay, we're going back to Phyrexia. They are bringing back what?
That's not why I have this up. I was just
we have a different version of poison happening, which is much more like the old version of poison.
What should I pull up? Well, what has a poison?
I don't know any of the names yet.
I don't either. Chat, give us a name from the newest set, so I don't have to look it up.
Do that mythic one that's like Carnage Tyrant, but with Toxic 4. The one that
can't type
the
that
one
in.
that number 2 is really scared about.
It's not gonna help me. You're all about the Team Forest Walk. Stop it! Stop it!
That's only been like a year bit at this point, maybe 6 months. Maybe
no, it's been longer than that.
A year.
What Team Forest Walk? It was when Modern Horizons 2 came out, which was in the spring.
I don't think I started that right then. I think when it got heated last year,
when we
did the staple verses of Yavimaya versus Urza Saga.
Yeah, and then we had the voting or how many people played it at SmithCon, which there we go. Thank you,
Tyrannex.
Thank you, Jacuzzi.
Tyrannex. And so it has Toxic 4, which means if that creature deals combat damage to a player, so players dealt combat damage by this creature also gets 4 poison counters. So number 2's argument is if you have an 8/8 and that guy's attacking, it has trample, it's unless you're able to block all that damage, it's still 4 poison counters, essentially, right? But I think
it's a neutered infect. I still think infect's better.
Agreed.
I think this is the fixed way of how infect is just really good. Like it's just.
But have they gone back and like errated the old versions? Because I feel errated. Wow.
Why?
For me,
can't even read.
I'm not used to having to hit that button.
Doesn't happen often.
I don't have.
But I notice when you do it, and it hurts my feelings. And so I don't know if it's. I think this works basically the same. I don't know about like the specifics on wording.
Did you take some sneaky Malort shots here and there before we started the cast?
But this card's quite good.
Yes, it's very good. Okay, but
7 is a lot. It's like a game ender, but we're not talking about the card. We're talking about the toxic.
Yeah, we'll get to the cards later when we actually do the review stuff.
Okay, Cole's saying that the original version of Poison is different rulings than this one right here. So
yeah, because the original version still does the for its power and everything, right? Because it says
no. Some of them stay like Swamp Mosquito is
it's a 0.
Attacks, it's a 0/1.
0/1.
But it still does 1 poison
let's pull
counter.
up Swamp Mosquito really quick just so we can swamp
have the example.
Yeah.
Hashtag Team Swamp Walk. Just for Doji.
Defending player gets a poison counter. What is some of the other ones though that
there is a cobra, like venomous cobra, I want to say.
I'll just put cobra.
Let's check cobra might be helpful. Yeah, that crypt cobra.
Oh, right here. If crypto defending player gets a poison counter, so it's just giving them a poison counter. Okay.
Yeah.
So so that one's a 3/3 and it's a 1. Yeah. Okay. So the
it'd be similar. Cole's saying that it's different. Did we have the discussion on what happens if you give a creature with toxic infect as well?
What do you mean?
So like the Rex has toxic and you give it infect. Will it be able to kind of like layer up? I think so.
That in my head it would. Player dealt combat damage by this creature also would get 4 poison counters. So that would take effect. And if it has infect, its damage. Oh, okay. Because normally with infect, then it takes away the damage part. So maybe not.
Oh, yeah, that's a really good point. I think
it would remove the toxic part because then it would prevent the damage part. And instead they're getting the poison counters.
That's a really good point. That's a really good point.
But going back to this, we had this discussion in year 1 of the Commander Smiths. And when we talked about it then, I was on board of nope, keep it at 10. So for those of you that don't know how Commander with poison counters work, which most of you probably do, you get 10 poison counters, you lose a game. That's for everything with it. But the argument that people have had is, well, in Commander, your life is not 20 like in all the other formats. It's doubled. It's to 40. Right. Why not double poison counters? I still stand by it. And now it's a wait and see kind of thing for this. There isn't. When was the last time you've seen anybody die from poison counters? I mean, besides Triumph of the Hordes, which is kind of a often do you even see that? Like I haven't seen a Triumph of the Hordes kill
not
for a long time. I don't even have it in a deck at this point. You know, like I don't have Crater Hoof. I probably have that in one deck at this point, 1 or 2 decks at the most.
Okay.
So even with those being out in the wild, you still are not seeing people getting killed by poison. I mean, it's Atraxa decks pretty much is where those Atraxa and Skitherix.
I think that's a good point.
But the Atraxa has so many different builds, which is why it's cool. But in fact, you just don't see like it's not a problem, and that's why you would change it if it was a problem. And it might be different for people's play groups. Maybe the only deck they have is an infect deck, and it's it kills.
I think they're figuring it out in the chat. They're saying that it would both. So infect is damage just in the form of poison counters. So toxic would happen and the infect would happen.
Do we have up a for sure thing on that?
I don't think I am not 100% sure, but that makes it's not that like it is damage in the form of poison and -1/-1 counters. And so that's all is damage. And so that makes sense without
Skitherix. There's Skitherix. All right. So infect. This creature deals damage to creatures in the form of -1/-1 counters to players in the form of blah, 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 blah. Okay, let's back it up. Players deal combat damage by this creature also get 4. Okay, so yeah, I can see that. So if this got the enchantment that gives the aura that gives them infect, and you swung through with 8, and they didn't block, they'd get the 8 poison counters plus the 4 and
plus
be dead.
4. Yeah.
I can see that.
So I can see that. I don't know if it's probably relevant. I can see people wanting to kill people that way, like doubling up on the counters quicker. But okay, so do we think this is problematic that we need to raise poison counters from 10 up to what? 15, 20, 25, 30, up to 40? Clearly not.
No.
I don't have a strong opinion on this. I don't know why we're even doing this as a segment.
Oh, right. You had a strong opinion on it when we first did it in that first year. Now you're right.
And the year before that, we originally had a 4-hour argument via phone while I was shoveling all of the properties, and
Oh wait,
then we had.
Is this an Adam you were right moment?
No.
Let me just.
But yeah. I've come to the point where I think you're going to have a big uptick of poison
for sure
for the next year or two. Poison's popular. People want to do that. People also hate it. And so if you're playing it and you know somebody hates it, they're going to target you, and that turns into that little 1v1 thing that we talked about last week. And so that happens. I've done that. I've reacted that way multiple times. I just go make sure the infect player can't do anything.
Right.
I personally wish it's always been toxic.
Yes.
Rather than infect.
Yeah, I think that would be it would have been the fair way to do it. I do like though with infect the -1/-1 counters on the creatures. That's what makes that so amazing too, you know, because it takes out indestructible stuff. It isn't just damage being prevented, you know, at the end of turn.
Right.
Okay. So what is
my problem with infect though is that it doesn't have to be combat damaged, whereas this does. So you can throw infect on Nekusar or Niv Mizzet and just ping people to death with poison real quick.
Yeah. And that's what my Nekusar has, the 3 ways of one of its win cons.
Three-way. And so, but that would be my problem. Like, I like that it is in this form, it has to be combat damage. Yeah. Like, just think if you can have this Rex ping multiple times in a turn, it's just like 4, 8, you're dead.
Yeah.
4, 8, you're dead. Like that doesn't seem right. But also like infection as a keyword and theme, like infections don't just happen when you touch. Also, it can happen in the air. Like it can happen any which way, as we found out over the last couple of years. Like, so as a term, like,
oh, is that a COVID reference? Is that what you were trying to do?
Yes, that was. Hashtag COVID.
What?
Hashtag COVID walk.
Oh, come on. What is wrong with you? Too soon, Lowry. Too soon.
Plenty. Did you just see? I just came out with deep anal from a card. That's what's wrong with me.
That threw me off. I will say, when there is a imagery that can be done with that one, I was just like, I've seen too many of these videos.
And so with these together, do we think it's going to get worse? I don't think so. I think there's more card choices.
It might get more prevalent, that more people you're going to see this, like you mentioned before. Team COVID-19. Nice, Cole. I called you COVID Cole. Sorry. I think you're going to see more decks out in the wild, you know, obviously, because this is a new set. Like, that's just what happens. It's a new set, and people play the cards that are in the new set. And it'll be that way, like you mentioned, for the next couple of years.
Yep.
But this is a dumbed down, not dumbed down, it's just almost kind of like a neutered version, or how Infect should have been. Now, for how good Infect is, you aren't seeing it played because there just really isn't a lot of support of it, I think, is the major key on that. There isn't a lot of crazy cards. Like, imagine this having Infect, you know, this would be like, holy shit, everybody's playing this card.
Well, I think one of the thoughts though would be is for Infect, you kind of almost had to overcost cards. So it was like 2/1 haste for 4 or 2/1 for 3 with Infect. And that's just not like cost efficient. So you're just already slow and behind already. And as we've talked about in the past, with Infect, you weren't dealing combat damage. It was just poison. And so you weren't actually progressing the game if you died.
Right.
Like, your effect was nothing if you couldn't kill somebody or everybody. And so I think that's why the non-combat forms became more permanent, right? For the hordes, the tainted,
you're talking about
the black card,
the black aura,
grafted exoskeleton that's been named in the chat. There's a couple of cards that give infect that have been allowed that stick around a lot more than just like the creatures. Like Skithiryx doesn't just make it into random decks.
Yeah.
Right. It's or Putrefrax or or Blightsteel is the only one that does, but that can one shot people.
Right.
Right. And it kills indestructible. Like it does a lot of really cool stuff. And so I think I'm glad that they don't overlap a lot other than with poison. I don't know.
Okay. So what you're saying is you think it's fine at 10, kind of like a wait and see, or are you more just like, I think it's fine?
There was a post from Sheldon, from the RC,
I saw that.
and they're saying that they're going to keep an eye on it, but they're going to slow roll it, see if they need to adjust that at all. And I agree with that. I wouldn't before this comes out, I wouldn't raise it up to 15 or 20.
Yeah, you haven't seen what's going to happen with it. Yeah, I agree. But if let's say this does get let's do hypothetical. Not only here's where do you feel like it would become a problem? I think, in my opinion, I'll say I asked you a question, and I'm going to answer my part, and then have you talk here.
You do you, yeah.
Yep. I think where it becomes a problem is where people are just throwing infect, or toxic, all these cards into non-infect decks. And that becomes a way that everybody is dying. Like, that's just what the decks are doing. Like, they all have infect. Like, it's just every deck has multiples of toxic or infect in them. I feel like that could be
So, like, if they were like a green deck runs Rex and Blightsteel Colossus.
Or be like me playing Blanca, just
enders.
being like, I'm going to throw this Tyrannex Rex into my deck. It has nothing to do with Blanca, but it's just going in there because it has Toxic 4. It's just a good card. If we start seeing that more often, I feel like maybe. What do you think? Where do you think that? Why they would actually raise the counters and everything? Like, what would have to happen for that to happen? And what would they raise it to? Would they take baby steps and go 15 and then go to 20? Just so you can read. Curdy the Ape says, considering we are getting an entire commander deck dedicated to poison on top of the new set, I expect to see a lot of Sultan people taking out games so much sooner in the coming months. I agree. Yep. But that'll die down. It's just like every other, like the next set comes out, people move on to the next thing. Will it continue? We didn't really.
I think people there are a certain amount of people that love poison. And it's probably a very similar subset to the idea of mill. And I think they're comparable. And so how many mill decks are out there? There's enough.
I think mill gets hated more because people feel like they lose their cards forever, type of thing. And they see what they're losing. But then, like, again, you don't see poison deck. I was going to say, when was the last time you seen the poison deck person get picked on? It's like, well, I haven't seen a poison deck except for an Atraxa deck, which it's an Atraxa deck. It should be killed right away.
That was years ago at this point.
Yeah, but it should be killed right away. It's Atraxa. It doesn't matter if it's poison, planeswalkers, or if it's, whatever.
And so are we saying that, like, poison, at least right now, is a sub game very similar to mill? Like, the mill player sits down and you're like, all right, we got to make sure that we get this guy within at least range before he's doing all of his stuff.
Yeah.
Or and poison, we know there's a poison deck, and okay, we got to take care of him because it's a sub game. It turns into a sub game. The person can just get rid of you on a whim. Like they're kind of talking about here. I didn't see who made that comment, but people are going to it's going to end games quicker if you're not paying attention to that person.
Yeah.
So does that make you more of a target, which is something that commander players do, and that's okay. Like, you sit down with a certain commander and everybody goes, all right, fuck that guy. Let's get them down. And is that just what the deck is going to be doing? Poison. And I think what you're saying earlier makes a ton of sense. Like if people are just randomly putting in toxic or just being able to kill people more with infect as more strong way, is that problematic? Because not everybody is putting random mill cards in to get you.
Yeah.
That's not happening.
Yeah, because that
so does that happen with the poison counter?
I kind of want to just build a
conversation
deck
here
that has no like theme and it's just random shit that's in there. It's like, yeah, I'm playing my Blanca deck and I just milled you out. Like, what? You're not even in the right colors. But yeah, so I don't think they change it. I don't think it's going. I haven't seen anything yet where I'm just like, this is going to be. And I guess the other thing we have to talk about is it not just toxic, but they are adding proliferate, which helps with the poison continuing to get bigger. Right. So we are adding a lot of good proliferation cards. We are adding. It
does seem like there's a lot more consistency there.
Token doubler type of cards. So it may turn out that it's a lot easier. But you are very limited to how many of those decks that are out there. You know, there isn't a lot, even with this set coming out. That's just one set. There are thousands of commanders. Is it thousands at this point? Legendary creatures that you can build. And this is just going to be a small 1%, 5% of the total commanders that are actually out there. Again, we'll see it for the next year or two. So don't go and be like, I just switched my LGS and
agreed.
This person, there was like 3 decks. Well, of course, it's a new set. Like go to your LGS or your play group after any set comes out. And within a month or two, those commanders that were in that set or that style, like is in that, and
just think of like after, like whenever there's past support for a mechanic, like landfall, after Battle for Zendikar, no really good landfall like cards were put in, but I guarantee you there was a ton more landfall decks. Just because there's a little bit more there and people love that and people love poison. So there's going to be a ton more decks that are just like, oh shit, I'm going to put this back together, or I'm going to change this into that. Instead of mono black or black green, there you might be able to go into like black green white now, or plenty of different variations here that I think people are going to want to explore. And then I think the question ends up being like, if it becomes too easy, do people get bored with it? If it becomes too hard, people will be discouraged from it. And so I think the rules committee is taking the right approach and just waiting and seeing what happens. And they might still have to act sooner than I would. I'd give it at least a year to see what's happening.
Right. Yeah.
And they might be forced to do something about it within the 6 months, which might be okay too. If they see it, they're going to have a lot more data than we do. Right. Clearly. There's going to be a lot of people complaining here for a bit. And I think, Renchai is talking about it like people are going to be salty. There's going to be a lot of people salty. So if you are playing poison, be conscious of that.
Right.
We've already talked about that. Like people are going to target you like a mill player. I think the only difference is it's going to be a lot more prevalent because Ruvac was just one card, right? And that brought mill up much more consistent, much more consistently. And a lot more people were playing it. Whereas this is like a lot of cards are being added into a handful of decks. And so there's going to be a lot more people wanting to play with it rather than just like Ruvac.
Yeah.
As a card. If they do change it, where do you think?
I think they do baby steps. I don't think you double like everything else was with Commander with the life. You need to have different. I like that there's different levels of winning. The 21 Commander damage, 40 life. We have 10 poison counted. I don't want things like if it was at 20, I feel like that's too close to Commander damage. Like, here's one example I was going to say is like this is kind of off the point a little bit, but similar. Commander damage is at 21. All right. So it's basically a lot of people's argument is to double poison to 20. Okay. Let's just say that's the poison argument, the people that want it raised.
Okay.
How often, and this is actually for changing it. That's actually the other part. How often do you even see people die with commander damage like that? You don't see very often, but your commander's always there, so that's always a possibility. So even with, I guess it's an argument for either way. It's both sides of it. Even with it being at 21 and your commander there's Voltron decks, and normally your Voltron decks deal with your commander. And even that you don't see. It happens more often than poison because we haven't seen it for years, but it's not very often with that. So it's why I don't know where my argument is going there. That was just one of the things I wrote down.
I think that's, even though you don't know where you're going, I think it's a good point.
Wrote it down.
I think it's a good point. So I think there are some major names out there that would prefer to get rid of commander damage. And I would disagree with that. I think that's a part that makes the game unique.
Different things.
I think so. I actually think I would not want it raised to 20.
No, I think
because I can see getting too similar to commander damage, and I'd want it to be different. So I'd be happy with like 15.
I think 15 would be my max of where if I want it.
If they changed it, I think I'd prefer 15. Even though I am a big not happy person with poison, like, because I understand that it can just fucking kill you out of anywhere. And so if it had to change, I'd hope it went to 15, not 20. I understand, somebody mentioned in the comments, I saw it like removal, against infect decks, wraths are going to be more important. Because you're, gaining that kind of like tempo advantage. And it is, I think, I haven't sat down and looked at the toxic cards, but at least infect was, it was more expensive curve for what they were doing. And so maybe they just, they were a little bit slower deck. So maybe the Wrath idea isn't the best. I haven't had to play against it since Atraxa and then since Skitherix, since you were playing it. And so the question ends up being like, are we, is Rex going to be a Blightsteel Colossus for green? Is that something that you see happening?
That what?
Can't be countered. This Tyranix
this guy?
Rex.
Tyrant. Yeah.
Like, how many Blightsteel Colossuses are we going to have? This might have a chance at it. It can't be countered. Ward 4 has haste and trample. Like, but it's at 7 mana.
But you're only putting it in a poison deck, and if you're putting it in other decks,
I don't know about that. If you have a way to give it double strike, that can toxic 4, and then they're at 8. Like, I can see that. Trying to end the game decently quick. It's kind of a big creature, right? Like, instead of thinking about this as an 8/8, think of it as a, if it can knock you out in 3 hits, think of it as like a 13/13.
Right. But it just needs to get 1 damage through to get the 4.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And so, like, if you're trying to compare it to combat damage, it's bigger than its 8/8 appearance. Because of the toxic 4 hits you 3 times, you're dead. That's how you got to look at Rex here. Is it hits you 3 times, you're dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
And how many creatures can you say that about? Is they hit you 3 times and you're dead.
Right.
Doesn't matter where you're at. And so is this good enough to just fit into decks? And then is that good enough to change the rule?
No.
Right.
Like, it's still
right.
It's the same. And actually, Jake mentioned this a bit earlier, is he's not a fan of the ban list. We're about the same in this. The ban list, you don't need to ban cards. You just let people deal with the threats. If somebody's playing these like you just there's a disadvantage when it's 3 against 1. If you keep playing cards that everybody hates, it is going to be a 3 against 1 and you're going to lose. And if you're always playing Infect and your play group, they're either 1, going to destroy you by all 3 picking on you, or 2, they might not play with you. So then you got to find another play group. And then, if you keep playing, if you keep being a douche, people aren't going to play with you. So I feel like it's regulated in that in itself. You don't need to have a list out that says it's banned, but maybe that's
Wait, what is Skitherix's power toughness? That's a 4/4, right?
4/4, yeah.
Can it self boost? It just regenerates, right?
No, it has it pumps.
It has a bad fire breathing.
Oh no! Yeah, no. Yeah, it gains haste until end of turn and regenerate. Yeah,
that's
so it
still
needs
3 hits.
3 hits. Yeah.
And you don't see Skitherix just sitting into, sliding into black decks.
Yeah.
Right. And so but also at least Rex can deal combat damage, so your life total does go down to whereas this does not. Right. I think that's a big difference when it comes to Toxic and Infect, is like Toxic still moves the game along if they're able to
if you
do
can't,
something
if
about
you can't
the
finish,
toxic or the
if you
poison.
can't finish them with the poison, it's still doing the damage, which is, you can have 9 poison counters from Skitherix, but as soon as Skitherix is out of the picture or you're eliminated as a player, those 9 poison counters don't mean fucking shit anymore. So it's like you didn't do anything.
If somebody hit you twice with the Rex, you took
16 damage. Yeah.
You still took 16 and you're at 8 poison. So I think that's, I think it's still a fair comparison. Like, you don't see Skitherix getting into a lot of decks. 7 mana is still a lot to a degree,
but it's
a game finisher.
It's in green.
So is that, how much is that going to fit into all of those decks?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it'll fit into some people's decks. Like, if I crack this, I'm going to want to play with it.
Right.
But as a, Adam, you got to make me a proxy. I want to get this in every green deck I have. I don't think so. Do I want to put it in a deck? Maybe. And so
Lowry's signature big creature deck, green big creature deck, like back in the day. You should just make one just to bring back the old days of big fat creatures. And this would be he's not legendary, so that doesn't work either. Okay. I don't think there's much more we can say on this.
I think it, for me, it boils down to agreeing with Sheldon in see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. They might have to make a move in 6 months, but I think that's at least at like the most reactionary. I think it's going to be fine.
Here's the thing. Of what we've seen so far, and this is coming to you as you don't like Infect, you don't like doing poison counter stuff. Is there a commander that you see that you're like, I want to build that? Is there a poison deck? Is there a toxic commander that you saw that you're like, I want to build this?
Like I said, I'm not a huge fan of poison, so it's not like a huge draw to me. I'd have to say, we could sit down and be like, maybe there's a proliferate deck where I can sneak in some poison
as a kind of a side theme with the deck.
Right,
yeah.
Right. So that it's like a different way of winning.
But that's just an alternate win. Like that's what you need to have.
Poison is right.
But so what I'm saying is, I don't care about poison. Like that was our whole bit. Like we used to argue with that, back in the day. And I really don't care about poison. And there isn't a single one that I've seen so far. I'm like, I have to build that. There isn't a single toxic commander or anybody that would the proliferate. It doesn't give me a desire to build that because it's just so. It's already there. We already have poison. I mean, it's just a different way of doing poison, more fair.
Well, but here's a question. Like, this is X amount of years later, 10 years later? Probably not that far, but there's a whole new generation of Magic players out there that probably want to play around with this big time in my mind. And so why not give them the chance to play with a mechanic? I think this was pointed out in the Discord as well, where it was kind of like infect, you were able to pump spell infect creatures, and that dealt more poison.
Yeah.
Whereas it doesn't matter with toxic, it just has to deal damage.
Right.
So if 1 damage of this Rex goes through with the trample, they get 4 toxic.
Yeah, this was the argument that Larry, number 2 and I were having.
Yeah. Maybe that I was reading that and I was like, that's a intelligent discussion that you guys are having. I don't need to be a part of that. I don't need to dumb it down.
Whatever.
I think, over the years, literally, we're talking year 5 is coming up. We're talking 4 years later. I'm like, I'm probably okay with this.
Mm-hmm.
I still, maybe I know how to play against the poison deck. And then I've accepted the point of that people can one-shot me with their poison, in the, what's your deck again?
Which one? You're talking about Blanca?
The drawing guy.
Drawing guy. Are you talking about braids?
No.
Recent deck or old deck? Are you talking about Skither?
Old deck. No.
Oh,
the one that
Nekasar.
Thank you. There we go. Finally. Maybe I shouldn't say thank you. Take it aback.
Take it aback.
And you don't play that much anymore either. And so it's probably I have a way of winning in poison for a couple of decks. It depends on how many decks you have. I have 16 roughly. You have a handful more because you don't destroy anything. But, if there are ways of winning with poison in a handful of decks because you just want an alt win in that deck, that's not problematic for me in my mind.
Right.
And does this turn into a sniping type deck where you take out one person really quick and then you don't the others and you just kind of die? People would get bored of that.
Yeah.
It did its thing as best it can. You can try and figure out how to extend your game, but if you can't, it'll die off on its own.
I will
and that's probably how I see it happening.
The one thing I do like with the introduction with stuff, which we'll talk about it probably when we get the set review stuff or whatever, is the introduction to if you have 3 or more poison counters, you're infected? Is that what it is? Or but then there's a lot of cards that if you have 3 poison counters, if a player does, you get a bonus. I like that. That's kind of cool.
I do like that.
Yeah. It's an interesting little twist that they've added to poison counters.
But again, if that thing does not give infect, you're not sliding it into decks.
Right.
So that turns it into an
card.
infect deck.
Yeah. But
so
all right. I think we're pretty good. I hit everything.
We figured it out. Solve the world's problems.
Yep, we're all good. Just don't.
Oh, maybe that could be a title, like a button. Solving the world's problems when it comes to just debating shit. I don't know. It's probably just still gonna be, hey AJ.
I don't want relationship. I just want.
Just kidding. You made a new button. We're going with that one.
Okay.
I just fear that I'm not going to be able to say hey AJ anymore.
Hey, go ahead, say it.
No, I just did.
Do it again.
Good. I'm good. No. Oh, hey AJ.
I'm not gonna.
You're gonna hit the button, right? That's what you meant.
I'm not gonna play the button anymore. Just kidding.
Hello, boobies.
Thank you. We didn't get enough. Well, we did get a lot of boobies. We got hello boobies 10 times in the game. Okay, we are going to hit a button that we haven't hit for a long time. My wife said.
No.
What are? Oh yeah, there it is.
I haven't had that discussion with my wife. I'm terrified to have that discussion.
All right.
So how are you doing? Frustrated. Okay. I'm gonna go record the podcast. Sorry.
See ya.
Busy. Avoid that.
All right, here we go. Boom.
Round 1.
Excuse me. I believe you have my stapler.
Fight.
Staple versus. Okay. No, we need to do card preview, but I'll get back to that. All right. So Yeah, we had Urabrask. It was when Mom and Dad fought last time. And it was Battle of Urabrask. Let me pull that back up again, actually. Stable versus Urabrask the Hidden versus Urabrask Heretic Parader. I knew I wasn't going to win, but where do you think this one ended up?
It's really weird that you didn't pick the better art for your card.
I like these. I actually personally...
You don't. It's a burning donkey. Why would you?
Do you remember what the other one? Wait, let me pull the other one up so you can see.
I'm trying not to fight. It's a red tumbling bookcase. I get it.
Let me just show you. Okay, you want to see that? Or
I want to see it. It looks like it was from
what
Doctor Strange. Yeah, he's just like fucking.
Where is there? Isn't even a head. This thing is. What is? It's a ball of.
This is why Cindy needs to talk with you. If you can't find the head, that's problematic.
No, that's Cindy finding. That's the other way around.
Yeah, I mean that's button. Same.
Cindy
thing,
doesn't have a penis. Right? I know. I have a penis, and she has, and that's how we had kids.
It's a vagina.
The kids did not come out of my penoir. But look at that.
I think
this Urabrask. You can't even see.
I think that V right there, that bright V. I think that's
You think this is
the
its mouth?
Maybe the eyes.
Maybe.
Yeah, he's smiling. He's a happy Urabrask.
Do you like that?
But you're
one?
saying that I dominated that one.
You can see that this is.
It's like, a burning donkey. Look at it.
Why is
it's
it
like
donkey?
somebody didn't complete like a car.
Yours looks like a sliver. Like it's a sliver creature. It's not even a praetor. It's a sliver with like not even feet. It's just
that would
floating.
be great if Urabrask went back in time, created
gonna go back in
because
time.
He's not really a praetor. Yeah. All right. So is this what I'm doing? Am I putting the?
Where do you think it ended? Yes, you can put that on. Where do you think it ended?
All right, thank you. Where do I think it ended? I don't know. I dominated. That's all that matters.
Well. The Discord voted in favor of my Urabrask, bitch.
Motherfuckers.
54% of the vote voted for my Urabrask.
Okay.
TikTok. No, not TikTok. Twitter. That's what the T stands for. See, I don't even know Twitter anymore. If there's a T there, I'm like, TikTok. It's got to be TikTok. TikTok's going to surpass our YouTube subscribers very, very soon. Within the month, it's going to be crazy.
If it surpasses before we hit 1,000 on YouTube, can we take away a prize? Can we punish people?
You get nothing. You get
no soup for you.
Yeah, thank you. I was like, what did he say there? I was like, no salt? No, it's not that. So Twitter voted 56%, but really it was 5 votes for your Urabrask. The big head honcho YouTube won, got you the win on that. 65% of the vote went for your Urabrask, with a total of 62% overall. So 62-38. So congratulations, Lowry.
There we go.
Dad beat up mom is what happened there. Or maybe you're the mom in it. I don't know. Who's the mom? Who's the dad? Okay, so this week, let's get...
I'm probably more feminine. I'm fine being the mom.
Let's see.
We're both stay-at-home dads to a degree, though.
Yeah.
So...
all right, this week we have Elesh Norn Grand Cenobite. Yes, I have mine. I like this version. This is the one I want to get. I like the art of all this. It looks creepy.
Could you have given me the version that had Phyrexia?
No, because then people wouldn't know what the card does.
They know what it is because they all play it because it's so good.
They don't. No,
they all play it.
Versus my Elesh Norn, which normally you're the one that does all this stuff. It's been so long since we've done this. You're normally the one that reads it.
Adam's doing Elesh Norn, Mother of the Machines, which is 4 and a white, 4/7 vigilance. If a permanent entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control, that ability triggers an additional time. Permanents entering the battlefield don't cause abilities of permanents your opponents control to trigger.
And yours gives 2+2 to your creatures. And
yeah. The original version is 7 mana for 4/7 vigilance. Other creatures I control get +2/+2, and you control -2/-2.
All right, let me get these up so we can kind of just have
NBD, but mine's like basically a wrath.
I guess
basically what's going on.
You play pretty shitty creatures that don't really get a lot of power there. You just
no, it's a wrath to other people. I play good creatures. You guys don't.
You're cum gurgling there, buddy. You gotta clear that throat.
That's right. Well, I've been trying. It's tougher than you'd think. It's like a leathery bubble back there now at this point. I couldn't clear it in time. It's like a booger balloon back there now.
A booger balloon. I'm trying to get these dang. God damn it! Get up there.
All sized up. Look, yeah. I've been juggling here. Okay. I'm going to
Lowry hand check, please. Hand check.
Juggling cum bubbles in my throat. All right. I'm going to talk about like your Elesh Norn is on the watch list to be banned
because
that's
so
how
good.
bad it is.
That's how good it is.
They're worried about it.
How good it is.
I agree. It is worried about it. I think it's
stop making points for me. What are you doing? It's not.
Look, Grand Cenobite's going to come down and get rid of all of those little tic tacs.
Can I be honest?
It's going to be like.
I didn't know it's like this. I didn't know its name was Grand Cenobite because you never say because it's the only Elesh Norn out there. Right. I was like, what the fuck is that's that Elesh
Grand Cenobite?
What the fuck?
Mother of the Machines. And
popping over. Damn it!
Look,
I changed our whole thing here.
It's such a big swing. Okay, let's look at this. Elesh Norn Grand Cenobite comes down and affects the board immediately. It doesn't have to kill anything, but it just makes your opponent's creatures weaker. And the ones that you have in a play
for 7.
Better. Yeah, it's a game ender for a
not
reason.
A game ender.
It's a game ender.
It is
Absolutely.
Not a game ender. No, it is not.
It ends people from playing cards in their hand. It makes their armies, the entire board, go. I can't play this in my hand. I can't attack with this anymore. This just became a chump blocker. That's what happens when Elesh Norn Grand Cenobite comes down. And then your fucking Solemn Simulacrums turn into 4/4s. They become good.
You're playing
creatures.
Multiple Solemn Simulacrums? Or why are you cheating so much?
What are you talking about?
Why are you cheating so much? You just said multiples. It wasn't just Solemn Simulacrum. It was Solemn Simulacrums. Lowry. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. I used that.
I added an S,
dude. I
added an S.
Side note.
I can maybe blink it.
I did the dad thing last night. I did. I'm not mad. I'm disappointed. And I told and then had to explain what that meant because I was like, "Do you know what disappointed means?" No, I had to explain what disappointed means because somebody came up and snuck their iPad at 11 o'clock at night and was watching it in their room. And when I went to bed, I checked on them, and guess who was watching their iPad? Yep, no iPad for a long time. I have rules.
I have my tablet. Tablets are just for like plane rides and car rides, and or long ones. And otherwise, it's up top.
Yep,
they're on top of the kitchen cabinets.
We used you guys as an example. We're like, little Lowry does not have an iPad that he uses every day. And they're like, what?
He does not. Right. He does not.
Yep. So
I cut him off after Florida. I was like, you're done with tablets. He gets TV very rarely now.
Yeah.
And life has gotten better.
For you.
Along with the marijuana.
All right. Back to this. Okay. So yours is 7 mana. And it's double white, so good luck if you're playing anything more than white. If you're multi.
No. This is late enough in the game. If you don't have 2 white, you're build a better
late
deck,
enough in
I'd
the
say.
game. You can't play it early enough because it sucks.
Right.
That's how bad it is.
Elesh Norn, you can play Mother of Machines. Let's go. You're
and the other thing.
MOM,
speaking of Mother of
GC.
Machines,
right?
She's a mother. Do you hate moms? Check your search history because I'm pretty sure you don't hate moms.
I'm gonna check that. I think I didn't notice the the Mother of Machines mom. I like that. I like what they're doing there. That's a cool name right there. You see that? Elesh Norn mom.
I do see that. I didn't see that before, but now
GC.
Yeah. But it's a mother.
But when this comes down
at 5,
at 5.
One
it
white.
Potentially does not. It doesn't necessarily change the game.
Oh, you mean ETBs don't happen in games? Like that doesn't.
I'm not saying that they don't happen.
Like you're doubling yours, and not only that
I'm
you're
just
doubling,
saying
you're
potentially
you're eliminating everybody. How many decks do you play that don't have ETBs? You're like, do I tell the truth? Is there a single deck?
Like 3.
Do you wait? Let's go back to our Solemn Simulacrum example. Your Solemn Simulacrums don't do shit if I have Mom out.
It's still 4/4. Like I'd still want to play it.
It's a 4.
You know what
4
I mean?
4
It's
for
still
4. 4 4 for 4.
It's not a bad rate.
Do you know that the new one? There's a new 4/4. It's for 3. That's a lot better, and it actually does other things with it, and it doesn't.
I don't think so.
Worry about
I don't know that one.
It's a green dude. And
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point for Doji. You need to make a Mother of Machines. You got to make a MILF proxy.
Where's my
Can
pen?
you make a MILF proxy?
Where's my pen?
From your search history or mine. I'll check. I'll let you know.
Let's see. Mom MILF proxy. All right.
Yeah.
Got it.
Mom from Futurama.
Okay.
No, probably not a busty, but a bushy one. Sure.
And
all right.
You remember we had
yours
the arguments about
yours affects the future of it, but if yours was down, I would not play creatures.
Really?
If that makes sense. Right. Really. I'd still want to
You would play your Solemn?
I'd get real aggressive on your mom. All right.
That would be what you take my mom out with a 2/2. You go after Mom with your Solemn Simulacrum. You go, I'm just going to waste this.
It's not just yours out. If yours is out and mine is out, I can be real aggressive.
Whoa, what are we doing?
Right. Yes. Yeah.
If yours is out, mine is out. All right.
Yep. We're just
mental note
at the urinal, I guess. Is that what we're doing? I mean, it doesn't have to be, but
the funny thing is you beat me to one of the comments because I have a plus on mine. It says, so good that Sheldon already wrote an article with potential ban implications.
Yeah.
That's how good it is. Did Elesh Norn ever have that? No, because it's bad.
She was out before Sheldon was even a thing.
She's not a mom.
Before he was a glimmer in Commander's eye.
If this tells you anything, did you see the Sheldon post? I think it was today it's Monday, that he said that he showed the past what cards were on the potential ban list, and Eternal Witness was on one of the ones they were keeping an eye on.
Mother of the Machines is as good as Eternal Witness.
That wasn't supposed to add to your argument.
That seems okay. Good job. Like, it's a good card. I'm not taking that away from you.
But yours doesn't even yours isn't even Eternal Witness level. Like it's like,
just a good one.
A planes.
Just a good
level.
Card.
Like
it's like a planes?
Yeah, it's just,
What are you talking about? Like this is a game changer. Like, this comes down. I'm an honest person.
It's funny.
It comes to staple
I
verses.
wrote, stopping ETBs is a game changer. Like, I literally have game changer.
But you haven't said that.
Yeah.
I'm saying
you just beat me to all of my points. You're like, but I'm gonna make it for mine.
Look, late in the game, you're going to have potentially an army. And then you just start beating face. That's all you got to do.
What you should have done was go.
That's what the game. That's what it does.
Mine does. You just go. My Elesh Norn Grand Cenobite. It stops ETBs. I was like, no, that's what my notes say. Well, I said it first.
Not say that.
What are you looking for?
I don't know if I don't. I'm just trying to look for a deck where I would want Mother of the Machines, and I think it's probably a decent haste card. It's fine, but if you just take that bottom part, permanents entering the battlefield don't cause abilities of permanents your opponents control to trigger. There are plenty of cards out there that just do that.
Right.
Do you play those?
Yeah. Akiri doubling my treasures? Hell yeah.
No. The opposite. Do you do any of them that stop people from playing?
Because there isn't any cards that have both of these on there.
No, I get that. I'm just saying, let's work this card.
Well, no, because what you're working is when there's a single card that does this. This is a card that has
right.
Two.
You don't play that part.
Do you play Panharmonicon
to a degree?
Do you play Panharmonicon?
And then when it comes to that, when it's doubling your abilities, I agree that is good.
Okay, but we're not.
That is good. That's the part.
Okay, so with your card, do you play cards that give your opponents just -2/-2?
I have cards that have a.
Do you have enchantments?
And a toughness.
Do you have enchantments
and I have
that you just
opponents
play
that have creatures with power and a toughness
that just make their
there are no cards that give -2/-2 that are permanents.
Okay, all right. So
they don't exist. That's how original Grand Cenobite is.
Do you play anthem effects? Do you play any anthems?
Absolutely.
You're a lying piece of shit.
No, I am not.
Anthems.
I don't think.
Yes, you are.
I don't think. When it comes to tribal decks. That is a thing
for
sure.
Time you built it? I mean, so that's in your horror deck? Your horror deck? You have an anthem effect in there.
Maybe one.
You're such a liar. You're such a liar.
Maybe.
I like that we've had
it's not lying when I give
this hiatus
maybe.
for so long. Makes it kind of makes it new and exciting to have this staple versus. Yes, I'm drinking a beer now. It's called the Sugar Shack. It's pretty good. It's a maple stout. I couldn't drink any more of that whiskey. It was just too sweet.
I'm good. I know that I won this one.
All right. You guys can vote for one of these two on the YouTube community tab, which is where we get most of our votes. But if you're part of the Discord, you can also vote there. And yes, it will be on Twitter. So those 5 people that vote there, we will see those on there. We will announce the winner next week, I think. It's just the next time we do Staple Versus. Yep. Thank you guys for watching. We will catch you guys next week.
Thanks for listening.
See ya.
Bye.
I love boobs. I'm talking tatas. I love boobs. I'm bonkers for honkers. I love boobs. Thanks for the memories. I love boobs.
Delicious.